Joined on the program by Dr. Yomi Johnson, gene therapy researcher, UK. But what is interesting about this conversation, Dr. Johnson, by the way, who joins us from the United Kingdom, is the work you're doing with DNA engineering and Akada work. So maybe talk to us about which one are you by day, which one are you by night, or do you do everything together? Speak to us about your work and the groundbreaking work you're trying to achieve with unemployment.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning. My day 9 to 5 research work, which I've embarked on for the last couple of years, stemming from my degree, postgraduate degree in the UK, is basically research on improving gene therapy innovation using DNA engineering techniques, specifically for very rare diseases, diseases that have their roots in genetic anomalies. An example that would relate to us is sickle cell anemia. And just looking at the anomaly in the genetic code and trying to give the body a specific set of instructions to correct those genetic anomalies so that they can produce the right protein, they can produce the right phenotype, the right kinds of cells in the case of sickle cell anemia, to improve people's health in general. And so that's basically what I've been doing for the last couple of years. But as you can understand, I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. I follow up on opportunities and paths towards opportunities such as the one I had, and how that can keep getting brighter and brighter for the Nigerian youth. And that actually spurred me. I think it was at the height of the ASU strike in 2022, when it was just months of students, Nigerian students, not going back to classrooms and just wallowing on the streets. And that really broke my heart. And then it occurred to me that if students had the opportunity to have platforms where they can connect to evaluate opportunities that allow them to bring out their potentials, in this day and age where people have lots of remote work, there's lots of opportunities for part-time jobs. It would really improve the employability of the Nigerian youth in sort of bootstrapping and helping themselves to get the right opportunities. They can become much more employable, and we can solve the problem of unemployability in Nigeria, and people can pretty much advance and go in the right direction of whatever career they want to pursue in the long run. So that was pretty much my intention. And to answer your question specifically, thankfully there's something called weekend and annual leaves and in the night as well. And these are the moments when I pretty much devote my attention to academics and try to see how we can improve this application that actually gives Nigerians the opportunity to connect.
Yeah, and so Akada work sounds exciting, actually. But if you consider that 5 years after graduation, a significant number of Nigerian graduates remain in the job market, how much of a problem really will it solve?
So that's a very, very interesting question. I think the problem does occur from the Nigerian youth waiting to graduate from tertiary institutions to become employable. That is the problem. The day and age when people would pretty much rely on the certificates and then take back to the job market looking for jobs. That was way back in the 70s, even in the 60s. There are opportunities. There are smart Nigerian youth students who are open to the vast opportunities of building their portfolio before they graduate. That's a very proactive step to becoming employable. And it's not just about the degree you've undertaken, it's not about the cost of study, it's about looking at the potentials which you have and just beginning to build up portfolio so that when you do graduate, you are not learning the nitty-gritties of what it means to build a CV, what it means to use basic tools like Microsoft Excel, which it's a really important tool to be able to use. And I'm not sure it's being taught in the four walls of Nigerian institutions. And if it is being taught, I don't think it's being taught the right way to use it to pretty much do a job effectively. And that is the problem. Trying to ensure that Nigerian youth have the opportunity to connect. And they have those opportunities. If you think about the fact that We have a vast space of micro, small, medium enterprises in Nigeria, contributing between 40 to 50% of Nigerian GDP. The number is about between 39 and 40 million MSMEs in Nigeria. Of that, you have about 1.2 SMEs. And these are spaces where Nigerian students can, volunteer. These are places where they can, offer their services, get training, understand the trade, and just become really, really employable.
So for clarity, if I may, your platform is focusing not just curriculum and all of that. You're more interested in skilling people. Is that what you're saying?
About upskilling, and it ranges from vocational opportunities. If you're a civil engineering student, and there is an opportunity to work in a place where there's road construction going on part-time, you get to understand what that trade involves. If you're a mechanical engineering student and there's a mechanic down there on your street repairing cars, you have the theoretical experience. Why wouldn't you volunteer or go out there and see how you could exchange ideas with this mechanic? Why would you just stay within the four walls of the university, wait to graduate, and then you're looking for a job? When you could have learned what it means to be, somebody who can venture into repairing cars, have a shop where you can actually upskill that with the degree that you have. So that's basically the idea. The idea is that the vocational opportunities and tech-related opportunities, Nigerian students can get access to those opportunities, and that's what Akada works out. They connect Nigerian students to those opportunities, and guess what? It also connects them to mentors within Nigeria, mentors within the diaspora, who are willing to put them in the right direction, provide them with the right resources, provide them with the right channels to actually connect to trainings to make them much more employable, basically.
I saw a video, a very striking one online recently by a group of young Nigerians who, chronicled the process from primary school, with hard work, writing, secondary school, then university, then eventually when they're out, it showed that they ended up being POS operators, basically trying to say, well, all of the hard work in school paid off.
Finance that education with student loans. So there's high premium on the quality of education received. And, to be able to go through school, I see many students taking part-time jobs. Taking part-time jobs in pubs, taking part-time jobs in cleaning, taking part-time jobs in cafeterias to finance their education. And when they do that, there's a sense of responsibility that goes to them, saying that I must make sure that I use all these opportunities to build a portfolio to get a job when I finish, because they are paying premium, they're paying a lot for the education they are receiving. And that's because there's a lot of investment going back to ensure that the quality of education is good enough for them to be able to get a job when they finish. It's a bit different in Nigeria in the sense that the opportunities are not well defined.
All right.
They're not well defined. You would find students thinking that if they were to take on some part-time jobs, it wouldn't necessarily contribute to their CVs.
There you go.
And that's trying to change. That when students volunteer, when students take on part-time jobs, it should be able to count on their CV. There should be transferable skills that they take on that count on their CVs and improve their employability. And that's the path we're trying to end with, basically.
Well, it's good to hear about the work you're doing. Perhaps we'll also sometime later talk about gene therapy bit, because now it looks like you're hacking the gene of unemployment. But we have to thank you so much, Dr. Yomi Johnson, gene therapy researcher, joining us live from the UK. I wish you the very best.
Thank you.